First onto the circuit, the Senior Frogs team, led by Chip in the Jaguar. Car and track familiarity was the order of the day at first, but a marker put down for the rest with a time of a 1 minute 28.42.
It's pretty crazy feeling.
Holy, this is scary.
Chip's teammate Izzy Hammond couldn't conceal her excitement of being behind the wheel of her Lola. And while Willany didn't hold back, he was given a few reminders of the dangers involved in these Evo sessions.
Sorry.
I think a couple of bumps, so I think I've got a few apologies to say, but that car is incredible.
Arthur TV opted the policy of self-preservation before finding that speed needs respect. But no such trouble for Bazinga. He showed everyone how it's done, the quickest of the Senior Frogs.
Mate, unreal P1, come on! Oh.
For Quick Stars, Mats Klemenko was full of trepidation, tiptoeing around the track.
2 minutes? 2 minutes? I was going so fast!
What the hell, bro? That is insane.
Before Brownie experienced a stark introduction to life behind the wheel. Carby Lame embraced his baptism of fire in Oliver Rowland's championship-winning car, but it wasn't long before his wheels went from under him.
All good, mate, all good. Just checking.
I'm cool.
You were good, mate, you're doing well.
Amelia Hartford in her Porsche, she gave it everything and forced her way into the quarterfinals. Standout performer for the Quick Stars was Hooker. He tore around the circuit in his Kiro, much to the concern of watching Bazinga, who held the fastest overall time. But then...
No!
You okay, Hooker?
Guys, I'm so sorry, yes.
Could it be game over for Hooker? Could they get the car fixed in time for later? Meanwhile, Senior Frogs Bazinga was confirmed fastest from qualifying. Congratulations to him and the rest of the team.
It's going to be hugely exciting to see how this one is going to work out. So Bazinga versus Carby Lane, then you can see the qualifying times quite different in terms of their overall pace to one another. Bazinga was actually the quickest of our 10 content creators here over the course of this afternoon. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's guaranteed though as we head into this one here, DC.
I love it. I love it. It feels very competitive, doesn't it? I mean, everyone's taking it super seriously. I feel a little bit sorry for Hooker, because he was so desperate to get into those into the duels. But I think Carby might have been holding a little bit back here, Tom. In the
I hope he's holding a whole lot back, because that's quite a lap time difference he's going to have to pull from the bag. It just feels that this might be a step too far. Bazinga's hot right now.
Bazinga has a bit more experience, of course, from karting, and he likes his performance cars. The amazing thing for me, just talking to Bazinga earlier on, is obviously the actual Formula E drivers were lapping at around 10 to 12 seconds faster than that, and I just said, you know, what could you squeeze out of that? And when you, it's impossible for him to conceive how they...
Out has indeed caught drivers out. Carby Lane having a bit of a slide through there.
Yeah, caught it well though, I've got to say. Not easy in those Sire Speed corners to lose the rear end, but naturally pulled it back, and we see...
He's deep though, he's deep into the bus stop, and he's overcorrected. And you can see he's just run on there. It comes up so fast, that corner. We've seen a few drivers over the course of today being caught out by it, and unfortunately for Carby, that is going to be the lap time gone then in the quarterfinals. Unlike we had in the 15-minute qualifying session earlier on, you only get one opportunity to set...
You don't get much time in these cars, and I was in it for an hour or so, and what you learn over that time period is the car can do much more than you can do. So it's providing you put the lines right, you can brake incredibly late and incredibly hard, and you can accelerate, you know, very aggressively. But there's a big difference between sitting in a simulator, which I do a lot of with my son beating me, by the way, but sitting in a simulator where there's no walls and you can hit a refresh button and respawn, and going out on a racetrack where the walls are pretty close to.
So can they run out of battery?
Not on this hot lap, but in the racing, yes, of course, you've got an energy level, and the driver runs out of energy as well. But
right, so what happens when they run out of energy? They just, that's it?
Or is too damaged to be, and he will not be out here to go.
Well, that is unfortunate for Juka. He was quick in Miami when we had the previous Evo sessions, but that gives takes the pressure off Izzy as she gets the opportunity to go through to the next round. Okay. I was backing her actually as someone that...
See this on the daily. How are they performing so far? How does this compare to real racing?
Well, we're a little way off in terms of the pace, but yeah, I mean, I think if you look at the experience relative to what these drivers are doing.
So imagine yourself watching some 7-year-olds play football.
Right, so they're
And
like...
then you go and
Yeah.
watch your favourite football team.
Right. So they're not quite the
way of putting it. He's a bit vertically challenged, Shui, but he's about 5'4" there and thereabouts. So he's not the tallest of racing drivers. Here a bit of the tyres chirping there.
Deep.
And into the wall! That's a big off for Izzy Hammond as she crashes out in spectacular style down at turn 13. Completely rips the front of the car off, and too much commitment. The rear's gone as well. The Senior Frogs, they go up from 1 point to 2 points. So despite there being disappointment having have one driver removed from that session, they will still get something out of it.
Yeah, to me, that looks like it's almost like throttle and brake has been run together. There was no obvious signs of locking.
Yeah, you can see the fire extinguisher on the other side of the pit wall, of the wall there rather, being knocked over as a result of the force of that impact once the car collided with the barrier. But more lock, and more lock. It's like she's trying to captain a ship at this point, and then bang, straight into the wall for Izzy Hammond. Not the way she should have wanted to end the Evo sessions, nor the lowly Yamaha app team, or indeed for the Senior Frogs. So he caught it with the front right and brought the car up into the air after that initial impact, and then of course whack the rear of it as well. You get one flying lap, and that is your lot. You can see we had the qualifying session earlier on, and Chip was 7 seconds or so faster than Amelia Hartford, so quite a pace difference between them. However, we have seen drivers struggling to get the pace and performance out of the car over the course of that one flying lap. In the qualifying session, they had 15 minutes to do it. Here, very different set of circumstances. As Amelia comes down in towards the bus stop chicane, which is where we've seen so many drivers being caught out here this weekend. Very easy to run on.
Okay, very important to keep it nice and cool and composed, stay calm.
Qualifying lap, but to me it looks like several seconds.
Well, 25.1, just to put that into context, that's the first sector time that she set. The drivers in Formula E this weekend were setting 21.3, so it's not actually a million miles away in that sector. And a nod of the head there for the Quick Stars team principal, Vic Starr, as he see Amelia Hartford coming to the timeline. It's a 1:32, 1:48. That's quicker than we saw Bazinga do in the quarterfinals. That's a nice, steady, good benchmark track then. See what he is going to be able to do in response to that. In terms of the time that we saw earlier on for Chip in that Jaguar, he did not look too bad at all. He was third quickest overall in the qualifying session with a 1:28.425. That was about half a second or so away from Bazinga's quickest time, his teammate. Through the final one we go now for Burn Chip. Is this going to be a time that takes him to the top of the pile in quarterfinal 3 and deposes Amelia Hartford in the Quick Stars? Chip comes to the line. It's a 1:31.764. It is faster than Amelia Hartford by just over 3.5 tenths of a second, and Hartford will go no further than quarterfinal 3. Your Frogs team and Burnt Chip go through into semi-final 2. Anyway, quarterfinal 4, two Senior Frogs drivers going up against each other, Arthur TV and Will NE. You can see a bit of a difference in terms of their lap times, about 7 seconds or so separating them in the qualifying session this afternoon. Will NE actually had a properly impressive save in the quali sessions. He had a big moment coming out of turn 2, but I went down actually and spoke to the team principal of Envision, which is the outfit that is running ATV at the moment, and I have to say, he said this is nothing compared to a championship in terms of the nerves that he was feeling. This was far more nerve-wracking for him. He found it stressful, I think is the politest way of putting it. When that car came back in one piece, he was relieved.
Yeah, well,
but again, it's a case of just keeping it on the island, keeping it nice and smooth and calm, and let's see whether it will reward him with a position in the semi-finals as he goes up against his Senior Frogs teammate. Over the timeline we're about to come then for Arthur TV in the Envision, a 1:49.099. So Will NE out on track here in the Mahindra for the Senior Frogs team. He was quicker than Arthur TV in the qualifying session this afternoon by about 7 seconds or so. You can see 7.7 million followers for him. 29 years of age, qualified 4th. Really good lap time he set in that session. This is looking very good indeed for him to move forward into semi-final 2 and go up against Chip.
I don't I don't want to sound silly, but what is a sector?
So the lap is divided into 3 individual parts. You've got
Right.
sector 1, sector 2, and sector 3. Basically, just helps us keep track of the lap as we talk through. Will and E goes over the line, a 1:36.170. That's a good lap time there for the Senor Frogs driver, and he will go through into semi-final 2 against Burnt Chip later on.
Yep, tidy lap.
10 in that one.
No, it's not confusing at all.
No, easy.
Thank you for clearing that up.
I'm glad I clarified.
I've just seen a comment from the main man, Calfreezy himself.
Team radio, 1 second.
Yeah, I want you to repeat the lap you just did, saying margins, same level of pushing. So you were comfortable right there.
Nothing's guaranteed in life or
That is
in Evo sessions.
You're full of great quotes.
He's a visionary, is DC. Certainly is. Right, Will Ennie out of the final corner. Oh, he's having a problem though with drive. Is he going to make it to the line? What's happened here for Will Ennie? Is it a technical problem that's thwarting his challenge? And could this be the moment that will deny him a chance of going into the finals? He comes to the line and he's lost about 7 or 8 seconds on the start-finish straight, and he's just crawling to the checkered flag.
Big final ahead, boys. Enjoy it. Go get him. Go get him.
Keep pushing, keep pushing. Flag finish line ahead.
It's up, but don't worry.
Will Ennie then, unfortunately, his lap time thwarted at the end of that session. Delighted to be able to welcome Karun Chandok to the commentary box. Karun, how are you?
Hi, Tom. I'm good. He wasn't thwarted. He did that on purpose. What are you talking about?
You think so?
100%.
You think that was team tactics?
Yeah, you hear him. He said, go on, boys, enjoy the final. He absolutely did that on purpose, so he doesn't go, ahead of Chip into the final.
So this is gamesmanship then. So basically what's happened here is the Senor Frog teammates are in semi-final 2.
Yeah.
And Chip, they basically said, right, we're going to play our double points card. We're going to put it on Chip. So he's slowed down deliberately so that they can get those double points and guarantee it.
Exactly.
Smart.
So, I mean, smart. But it means he's not, he's sacrificed personal glory, and he hasn't told any of these guys, because look at the Edo Mortara and Nick de Vries faces. They have no idea
They had no idea what's going on. We didn't have any idea in the commentary box.
Oh,
man.
Unbelievable.
I know.
I'm reading the comments currently. There's kind of a split idea of what's going on. Some people disagree. Some people think that wasn't.
Think of the lap ahead. Visualize things while driving at 80% to get temps.
So running in all-wheel drive, not actually a mode that we usually see in Formula E.
The answer is it is the same mode as they have in the races.
Right.
Out of the final corner we go for Chip, across the line then, aims for the checkered flag. What's the score on the door going to be? A 1:29.662. That is a phenomenal lap time from Chip in the Jaguar. Senor Frogs guaranteeing themselves that spot in the final.
And we should see how Max Klemenko gets on.
Yep, will he be able to climb the ladder, or will we see Brownie striking Max Klemenko out from this qualifying session? Wait and see how it works out. Of course, the driver's going out on a one-by-one basis. Traditionally in Formula E, as I mentioned earlier on, they would normally go out both together at the same time on the circuit, but in the interest of safety here, we've got them going out separately. She's got about 80 horsepower and is completely different to this, other than the fact it's called a Citroen. So through the final corner we see here for Max Klemenko. I don't think it's going to be a time that will upset what he set earlier on. He comes to take the checkered flag, or is it, as a matter of fact? He does improve, a 2:01.384. That is about 4.7 seconds quicker than he set in qualifying this afternoon, and that was after a 15-minute session.
He should be the winner here of the wooden spoon race. And coming up now to the final chicane, just got to keep a nice clean run through here. And he will be the first trophy winner, won't he, as the winner of the wooden spoon for this evening?
Certainly will be, yeah. So Brownie is going to win the wooden spoon award here in Jeddah. We understand that they actually took their double points play earlier on for Amelia Hartford, who lost the quarterfinals to Chip. So Brownie comes over the line. He wins the wooden spoon award.
Shout out Toby Jizzle. Do you guys know Toby Jizzle?
I'm not.
No, who is he?
Oh, you'd love him. He's brilliant.
Is he a close relation of Lethal Bizzle?
I think he might be. I think he's his brother, actually, yeah.
I don't know who that person is either. Tell me about Toby.
He's Lethal Bizzle's brother, basically. That's what he's known for.
You're learning now.
Yeah,
you're on it.
Can we get a quick yo family, by the way? Just a quick
Yeah,
Yo family. That's it. There we go. Thank you for that.
Happy days. No worries.
Why said
Bazinga.
that? Anyway,
Over
let's
the
see the
top.
time.
Let's see what he does. Score on the door then here for Bazinga as he comes to take the checkered flag. A 1:28.633 for the DS Penske driver for Senor Frogs. That is absolutely phenomenal. Through in towards the final couple of corners we go then. So it's Chip versus Bazinga. It's the two Senor Frogs drivers gunning for glory here in Jeddah as we come through the left, then the right hand, and we'll aim it for the timing line. Is it going to be Chip as the champion or will it be Bazinga? We come to the line to take the checkered flag, and who wins Evo Sessions 2026? It's Chip who does it by 4/10 of a second! And Bazinga's challenge is to pose right at the very end. And the upshot is the Burnt Chip wins the Evo Sessions of 2026 as he stands atop his Jaguar to be congratulated by the team. Cal Frazee and the reigning Senor Frogs also down there. There's Ellie Norman, Chief Marketing Officer for Formula E, presenting the Wooden Spoon Award, first of all, to Max Klemenko. The Ukrainian driver jumped into a single-seater car, his first ever time on a racetrack. So to be presented with the Wooden Spoon Award, an accolade for him to take home, as well as a medal. And also the good feeling inside of his heart to say that he is one of a very select few drivers to have driven a Gen3 Evo Formula E car. Izzy Hammond also there presented with a medal after pranging the car into the wall, but as we said, good thing is she's okay.
It's like kids' sports day. It's,
everyone gets a prize.
Everyone gets a prize, a participation prize.
So everyone gets a medal?
Yeah. There are no losers at St Barnabas, is here,
Oh,
Jack?
Cabby thought he was going to steal a trophy there.
What a shame. Gets a medal for his efforts there. Amelia Hartford also, and it didn't work out for the Quick Stars team, did it? Because they backed the wrong horse in the quarterfinals for that double points take.
Yeah, but she came so close. She was only, I think, 4/10 off.
It wasn't far.
Getting through, it was so close for her.
Brownie makes his way onto the stage then for the Andretti team, and as part of the Senor Frogs outfit, he was the quicker of the two in that wooden spoon race.
His bulging muscles are so big, he's popped out of his race suit.
I'm not surprised. He was doing press-ups for fun in the 30-degree heat yesterday afternoon.
Just like you, Tom.
Oh, wow, even Big Star gets a medal.
Hey, told you. Everyone gets a prize.
Everyone get a medal?
He showed up.
I think if you could pop down there, Jack, you probably
I'd
would.
quite like a medal.
Run.
Now time for your top three fastest drivers to be making their way onto the stage. Will N.E. What a job from the man from Newcastle.
Next, in second place from Senor Frogs is Bazinga.
Bazinga did a super job, didn't he? Like, that final was really, really exciting, and as we said, it was just 4/10 to the end. Great job by him, but in the end, it was Chip who did the best lap.
Yeah, Burnt Chip makes his way onto the top step of the podium as the winning driver here in Formula E.
And
now time for the national anthem of our winning country of the United Kingdom. God Save the King plays out for Burnt Chip, the winner of Formula E Evo Sessions 2026 here in Jeddah. 4/10 of a second, the gap between himself and the eventual second place finisher, Bazinga. Will N.E. with a podium in that Mahindra. Michaela Schnuck, newly appointed Chief Media Officer for Formula E, presenting the third place trophy. Max Günther, DS Penske driver, presenting the second place trophy to the man who drove his car. Great job from Bazinga, P2 for him here in Jeddah. And now the winner, the trophy presented by Antonio Felix da Costa of Jaguar TCS Racing. And of course, it is awarded to Burnt Chip, and done in a flourish and style as well.
Yesterday's race winner, of course, Antonio Felix da Costa.
I wonder where that horn was coming from. Now we know. Now time for the Senior Frogs team to make their way onto the stage. Another winning team, of course, the Senior Frogs here in Jeddah. Cal Freezy, the team principal. Jeff Dodds, the Formula E CEO, with the winner's trophy. Presents it to the man who's been behind the scenes and running that outfit here this weekend. To the 5 drivers out on track. Very, very well deserved indeed. Now time to run and take cover as the trophies are lifted. And the Rosewater is about to fly.